Hey everyone,
Hey y'all,
welcome back to
Quinn Tarot.
a. Alright, y'all. We haven't got a chance to talk to y'all in a good while, almost 2 weeks, maybe.
Oh yes, we have been.
Um, we did put out a brief video on our YouTube, but and on a statement upon our Instagram, Twitter, and stuff like that. Because things were just getting very crazy and hectic for us. And
Definitely.
but before we get into that, twin, do we have any things we need to know?
We do. So, of course, our astrological forecast for this week. We are currently in a Mercury shadow phase, which the shadow phase always comes right before the retrograde, and the retrograde will be next week. On the 17th, Mercury will be in retrograde for the next months. So, of course, y'all know it's time to take care of yourselves. Don't make any big decisions. Take care of your technology, take care of yourself, take breaks from social media if you need to, especially with the current events that we're dealing with. And as always, safe, y'all. But that is it for our astrological forecast.
All right, thanks. You hate to see it.
Honestly, truthfully.
but but we also hate to see all of us POCs in shambles, all of our black people in shambles. Is just very frustrating. How
Right.
have you been doing, Tween?
Been very annoyed about a lot of things happening in the world, of course, and trying to cope as best as possible,
Mm-hmm.
on top of the things going on in the world and just in general being stressed out. So it has been difficult, but, we will prosper. We will get through it, as always, even though it sucks right now. But how about you, Twin?
Definitely. Well, as you guys know, most of you should know, I already was taking a break in the beginning, and then this happened after that. It just was like triple fold. I don't know what was happening. It just went worse to worse. And I am not in an okay space, to be honest, truly. Oh my god, be quiet. And um I wish that I was, because I like being a support for people, and me feeling helpless for myself is very um anxiety ridden for me, and very, I'm just sad all the time, which is not fun. um and it just really, I want to interact with everybody and stuff like that, but it's hard for me to do that right now. um because I don't want to give anybody the energy that I feel, and most importantly, I try to protect my own energy too, the little that I do have. And that's why we're not having a live thing now, because I don't really feel much energy to do it. Because before, why me and Twin decided to put out the statement before, is because we were both just so angry and just very so frustrated and just like sad, and just all the emotions that you can feel except for happiness all in one. And we were just ranting to each other and we still do that now, but it was like very just so, right now we're just kind of exhausted a bit, to be honest. But um it was just very, we were just angry mostly, and we didn't want to be putting that out there for y'all to be angry. But even though I definitely expressed some anger in our Twitch, our Twitch, in our Discord, I did. I'm not gonna lie, I did. But I still feel those words 100%. It's just that now I'm just kind of like just exhausted, and I really just want to try my best to turn it around. And me and Twin are actually going to talk about some things as to how we can try and help ourselves in this time. Just some ways. It's not all the ways. It's not the blueprint. It's just some ways that me and Twin thought it would be awesome to talk about. So we're gonna get into our first one, and we will have this in all the places that you'll be able to see them, so you all can follow along. So these are our self-care steps in times of distress. For our number one thing is to take a break from social media. Log out of all your media accounts. If you need to contact anyone, give them your number. And this is something that I definitely feel, honestly and truly, is because sometimes, even though you want to be around and all of that, but sometimes you just cannot do it because you are hurting yourself more than helping yourself by still continuing being on social media, especially if it's stuff that's triggering you. Because one thing I can say that I don't think Twin did either. Twin, you let me know if you did, or let us know. I did not look at when George actually died, because it would have been heartbreaking for me that I would have probably had a panic attack in the whole 9 yards. So I was like, nah, bruh. Yeah. Oh my god.
For me,
Yes.
for me, it's a little bit harder to break from social media because my job does revolve around it. So some stuff I kind of have to see, even I would probably prefer not to, but I try to limit my leisure social media, because usually Twitter is like my go-to, which I was telling Twin, which is crazy because I'm not typically on Twitter, but with everything happening lately, I've been super drawn to it, which I typically am not. So it is something I'm trying to stop myself from doing, but I do tend to I tend to go there a lot. And I will say, like, even though Twitter can be toxic, it has kind of helped me with information about things happening in the world, and especially with everything happening, with Black Lives Matter and all that kind of stuff. But I still try to break myself away from it because it can be a bit overwhelming and stressful when you're just constantly seeing like depressing stuff on social media. But it definitely helps to really try to take a break from it if you can, if it's possible.
Definitely. And number 2, talk to a trusted friend or family member. Make sure it's someone who will really listen to you and is not judgmental, because in this time, anytime, to be honest, if you have something that you feel like you want to talk to someone about that you feel is very sensitive, and you want to be heard, you don't want to be judged in that moment. You want to be able to be vulnerable and talk about how you really truly feel and have someone to listen. And I do have that in my life. Definitely. I feel like it definitely helps to have, especially right now, what we're feeling, people who actually go through the same things that we're going through, feeling the helplessness of being Black in America, and being able to talk to people who can empathize with you because they're going through the same thing. What about you, Twin?
I definitely, for me, I definitely have more trusted friends and family, because I'm not typically always on the same page with my feelings about some things, but it is important to have people that are understanding, like not necessarily people who agree with everything that you say, but you don't want to go to somebody who's going to constantly question everything you're saying or make you feel bad about how you're feeling. So you definitely want to go to somebody who you can trust, and you're not worried about them being having toxic things to say that can make you feel worse than you already do.
Definitely. And number 3, take care of yourself. meaning eat healthy food, drink plenty of water, avoid toxins, and try to get good sleep. Because you just, in order for you to be able to function well, your brain to function well, for you to be healthy, you need to be able to eat and drink and have good rest, which, you know, all doctors tell you. But it is honestly true, because if you don't do enough of one, you always kind of feel kind of off. What you reckon, twin? You been eating good and all that good stuff?
I've been drinking a lot of water, and yeah, I eat. I have been eating.
I'm about to say, you better say that for the people be like.
I've been trying to eat. I don't care. I've been trying to force myself to at least eat at least 2 meals a day, because usually I will either eat nothing or I'll eat one. But I have been trying to eat at least 2 meals a day, and I drink water all the time because it is hot as hell where I live, which makes, you know, that makes sleeping very hard when it's super hot all the time. But the other things that I can control, I really try to do.
Yeah. I've been drinking a lot of like smoothies, but I also been eating snacks that are not healthy for me. I'm not gonna lie to ya, but I have been drinking a lot of water. I have, and I don't like smoke or drink at all often. And I've been sleeping. I've been up a little bit longer than I'm usually am, but I have been sleeping.
Acting like she grown.
It's been a little harder to fall asleep at night. But when I do fall asleep, I don't really stay asleep. I always wake up in the middle of the night all the time. That's just what I do, tossing and turning. But yeah, for the most part, I think I've been doing all of those.
Right, all right. We're doing the things so nobody can yell at us. So we're doing them ourselves.
Yeah.
So number 4 is to exercise. Try focusing pent-up energy into exercise, stretching, walking, or jogging in safe areas. So of course we know that, you know, we kind of have that girl Rona and things happening. So a lot of states and stuff are opening up with certain restrictions. So, you know, be sure that you're outside with your mask, or at least you're social distancing when you're doing these things. And if you can't really get outside to jog, you can always do it in your front yard or your front porch if you have the space. But if not, yoga is always an option. You can, you know, do anything that at least gets you a little bit of movement, you know, so that you can be physical and keep your body right and everything like that. Also, this kind of ties into exercise, but you could practice your breathing and stuff, especially if that's not something that is triggered by your anxiety, because that does help. I know for me, I've been really kind of looking. I found some Twitch streamers that do yoga streams. I've been watching those a little bit, and I've been trying to find more routines that are kind of designed for smaller spaces and stuff, because I know like a lot of people might be in like a very small space. You might be like in a small apartment or something like that, so you might not have a lot of room. Or, you know, even people that, because I did not know this, but there are some people who are still trapped on campus at their schools because of corona and stuff. So if you have like a very small, like, you know, dorm, you might need to do stuff like that. So definitely look up videos and stuff, because that's what I've been learning lately. But what about you, twin?
Nice. I've been doing some stretching, but I have not been really doing the walk or the jogging, because I've been, not gonna lie, I've been having a lot of anxiety about getting the Ronies, so, I have not been going out much lately, but I have been stretching. Yes.
Love good old stretch. Right? And then our final step is do something that takes your mind off of worries, such as reading a book, putting on face masks, journaling, watching your favorite movies, dancing, aka throwing a little bit of ass. So, of course, anything that stops you from worrying about stressors and things like that are good for these times because, you need to give your mind a break sometimes, even though it is a little bit hard if you're anything like me. And probably, I don't know if Twin is like this too. I think Twin might be like this, but sometimes it's kind of hard to detach from the negative thoughts. But you have to do something that will take it away for at least a minute. And for me, I did kind of start reading and stuff. Recently, I started trying to read some more, and I've been really trying to up my self-care, doing my face mask, taking care of my hair, and also been trying to like learn different little skills. I've been really researching certain things and stuff like that are educating me and also keeping my mind off the negative stuff. So that's a thing. But what about you, Twin?
I've been doing a lot of this. I've been doing a lot of getting my mind off things. I have not been reading. I really do want to get into some reading, but I have not been reading. I did a couple of face masks. I did a little tiny bit of journaling. I have not really been watching movies, but I've been watching a lot of videos. I've thrown a little bit of ass, not a lot.
Okay,
just
okay,
a little. It might have been randomly, to be honest. Maybe something like a little jam came on.
Twin out here twerking.
I'm screaming. I really like that Chloe and Halle song, Do It.
Oh,
I've been jamming in that. So what else? I've been doing a lot of drawing. I've been doing a lot of watching. I have been watching some movies. I've watched a couple movies with Steve. Been hanging out with Steve a lot and just trying to focus my energy into other things because I don't know what to do with my thoughts at this moment. So I've been doing a lot of all the number 5. But so far, Twin, what are your favorites off this list?
Definitely has been doing things to take my mind off of worries, definitely.
Yeah.
I've been really liking, reading more, picking up old hobbies and stuff that I haven't done in a long time. And another thing I've been really wanting to do is get back into doing like readings and stuff for myself. But I'm just kind of taking my time with that. So definitely trying to distract myself because I like to distract. Yeah. And it gives me time to do things that I've either always wanted to do or just haven't had the time to do, which has been pretty helpful.
Yeah, definitely. I would say I really appreciate number 3, number 1, and number 5. And number 4, I like all of them. I'm just numbering all of them. I like all of them. I don't think I really truly honestly have a favorite because all of them help a lot in this time, to be honest. But I do like eating.
Eating is good.
What are y'all favorites? And if we don't have something that you do on this list, let us know on the chat. We'll be in there. Let's see. Okay. And Twin, what's next? What do we have coming up?
So on our next 2 streams, we will be focusing more on our LGBTQA plus community, and we're going to be talking about Black history, tying into that, and also some things that incorporate mental health. We have found a lot of very helpful resources and a lot of topics that we think you guys will really like. Next week, we will be starting with that, and we will continue. The week following, we're going to divide our discussion into different decades so that you guys can see all of the things, that have been happening in our history as Black people, also, queer Black people.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of things, a lot of little tidbits. Now, a little bit of the knowledge you guys probably already know, but Twin and I found a lot of things that we did not personally know.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things are random facts. A lot of it is a lot of political things that we didn't know, certain
Mm-hmm.
legislations and things like that that we did not know about, which we feel like should be more known.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot of entertainment things, historical little bits and pieces of information, about LGBTQA plus community that we did not know.
Mm-hmm.
So we hope that you guys, will join us next week and the week following on our Twitch channel, of course, because we're going to be talking about all these things that are very important. And, as always, we want you guys' feedback. We also want to open the floor for anyone in our community who may have any experiences or any issues, anything that you dealt with, if you are a member of the LGBTQA plus community, and if you would like to join us on stream and talk about these things with us, definitely either message us on one of our platforms, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Discord. If you even have to whisper us on Twitch at Twintero, we are down for that. If you send it to our suggestions box or our email, we'll definitely be checking that. Just let us know if you guys would like to talk, because we really do want to have personal experiences from people in the community, because it would be better off to hear it from someone who has experienced things instead of us just talking about it. So if you are interested, make sure you hit us up and let us know so we can arrange that and, add that dialogue that we need. So
yes. Thank y'all so much for hanging in there with us. We appreciate y'all, and we hope and honestly and truly that we all get out of this together and not divided, because girl, we need everybody to be together. And I don't want to get into this now, but we need our Black people to support our LGBTQ plus A, and we need and LGBTQ plus A is always supporting the Black community, but I definitely need our Black community to have our LGBTQ plus back as well.
Exactly.
But we're not gonna get into that now. I just want to say thank y'all.
Save that for the next few weeks.
Yes. Thanks for coming, y'all.
We love you guys.
We'll talk to y'all chickens later.
Bye.
Bye.